I like that more. I like that more.
I think the universe is God. That's what I think.
Keep going.
I think this idea of God creating the universe is silly. I think the whole thing is God. I think it's God in the fact that it's the entire creation of everything that exists that we can measure. All of it is the universe.
Yes.
And if you read the Bible talks about in the beginning there was light. Boy, that sounds a lot like the Big Bang. Boy, that sounds a lot like the birth of the universe. I think these fucking people that wrote the Bible were recounting stories that were told down through people that had a scientific understanding of the birth and death of the universe, just like we do now. Maybe even more than we do now. And then they got hit by asteroids. And then it was thousands of years before civilization reestablished itself. And the stories had been told down, handed down forever and ever. And by the time people wrote them down, they were goofy. And they were goofy, and there's like God created the earth in 6 days, and the whole story of Adam and Eve, and there's probably a lot to all of it that's true. And it's probably a historical record that was told to people that were essentially barbarians that were surviving from the collapse of a superior civilization, superior to what we have today. And there's a lot of real physical evidence of that. There's a lot of archaeological evidence of that. And it seems to be a direction that a lot of people are headed into when they understand how often we get hit with asteroids. Somewhere around 11,800 years ago, we got pelted, and it stopped civilization in its tracks, and we had to rebuild from scratch. And the people that survived were probably monsters. Monsters, the Mongols and the fucking hordes and the barbarians. They were the most harsh people because that was the only way you survived, because there was no longer a technologically advanced civilization. It was all just barbarism, and there's very few animals to eat because there's a nuclear winter, because the sky is filled with the impact of this massive meteor that slams into Earth and kills 70% of all the people. And then about 6,000 years later, they start figuring out mathematics again.
Wow.
This is why I listen to this podcast.
That's what I think.
What do you think you grew up religious?
Uh-huh.
What is your take on God? And
You gave up your Lord.
Yeah, they said the years were different. So when they said it was created 5,000 years ago, they're like, that's our understanding of the years. They're like, this guy lived to 260, but they're like, that's just, I don't know, some seasons passed.
When they wrote that, they didn't even have a sundial.
Right. So they're like, how old are you? Like, we don't have calendars.
But are you a believer in a higher power?
No.
No.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
What happens
There's
when
no
you die?
why to a belief.
Why do you?